everybody. Thank you so much for joining us here again in Live Fit Kitchen. We have our special guest back again this week. This is Dr. Andrea Purcell. She's a doctor of naturopathic medicine and she is actually my own doctor. Now we have another wonderful recipe to go through with you. This is a phase 3 recipe unless you substitute lemon juice for lime, and that makes it a phase 2 nutrition plan recipe. So this is a great one for people. I did start doing a little pre-cooking this morning at home, so we'll take you through that in a minute. Welcome back, Dr. Purcell.
Thank you, Alicia. It's great to be here. Hello, Live Fit. Today we're going to talk about Cuban black beans. So I'm sure all of you in a pinch have opened up a can of black beans, threw some in your salad, and out the door you went because it was your protein for lunch that day. But this is a way to make your black beans taste a little bit better. We're adding some spices and some flavorings, and this really juices up a basic black bean dish. So it's Cuban black beans, 2 teaspoons of the extra virgin olive oil. Those of you who are with us know how important it is to choose the extra virgin because it's the highest quality of olive oil. A half a cup of chopped yellow or brown onion. Onions are highly medicinal and they're great for us, and I'll tell you about them a little bit later. 1 teaspoon of the Bragg's amino acids. 1 teaspoon of ground cumin. A little black pepper to taste. 2 cloves of crushed garlic, another great medicinal herb. A half a cup of cooked black beans. Half a cup of chopped cilantro, and 3 tablespoons of fresh lime juice.
Okay, so as we said, we can substitute lemon for the lime if you're in phase 2, and obviously as a phase 2 recipe, you'll be measuring individual serving sizes using the black beans here. So here's how we're putting this together. At home, before I came into the studio this morning, I put the 2 teaspoons of olive oil, the garlic and the onion into the pan, and I sauteed it for 5 minutes on medium heat, and I just stirred it regularly. It looked great when I was done, but after I covered it with foil and drove here for 10 minutes, it looks a little wilted now, so if that's not as pretty on your screen, don't worry, it'll look better when you do it at home.
It smells divine though.
It does, it smells amazing. So that's the beginning of our recipe. Now in the background here, as Dr. Purcell talks us through some of the nutritional qualities here, I'm going to put everything else together. So you cook this first, then you'll add everything else into the pan, cook it for 10 minutes, and then it'll be done. And this is going to be delicious, hot or cold, on a salad, as a side, maybe with chicken or steak. There's lots and lots of different ways to use this one, so we love that it's so multi-purpose. So we're starting with the black beans. 1.5 cups is the quantity, but I actually used 1 can, and we think that that's going to be about equivalent. And I did rinse and drain these earlier at home. You can see I've been to Trader Joe's again. So in go the black beans. Tell us more about our black beans.
So black beans are very high in fiber, and actually they're very anti-inflammatory for our cardiovascular system. And so the combination here of the extra virgin olive oil, the garlic, the onions, which are very anti-inflammatory for our cardiovascular system, combined with the beans is just win, 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 win combination here. So I like this old mantra that one doctor friend of mine told me is, beans are good for your heart. The more you eat, the less you infarct, which means the less that you have a chance of getting a heart attack. It's doctor humor. Oh, sorry about that.
That's hilarious. I was wondering where you were.
But I always think that, yeah, less myocardial infarctions. And so that's what we have here is we have a heart-healthy saucepan in front of Alicia. And now she's adding in the cilantro. Cilantro is very high, actually, in calcium. Who would have thunk it? But calcium, magnesium, potassium, cilantro adds a lot of flavor to dishes, especially because we're going Cuban here with our Cuban black beans. And it's also a digestive aid, so it just helps us digest those beans a little bit better. Now she's adding the cumin. Cumin has a very distinct flavor for those of you who haven't played around too much with herbs, but it does add a little bit of kick and spice to this recipe. So we're going to mix all those together.
Tell us too about the Bragg's, because I put that in
Okay,
as well.
So for those of you who are not familiar with the Bragg's amino acids, they take the place of soy sauce, or tamari is another word used to describe soy sauce. So the nice thing about the Bragg's is that they don't have wheat in them, because soy sauce always has wheat, and they're a derivative of soy, but it also has some amino acids and things in there. So they're a healthier choice. If you overdo it with the Bragg's, the dish will be a little bit too salty. So they are as salty as soy sauce, so just be careful with that.
Okay, so we put the lime juice in. That was pre-measured at 3 tablespoons. And as we said, if you're on phase 2 of the nutrition plan, use the lemon juice instead. It'll be just as delicious. a little pepper to taste. Okay, so you can see this is starting to look pretty good here. So we're going to stop the camera, go and put this on our hot plate off camera here, and we'll cook this for 10 minutes on a medium heat, and then we'll be right back.
Hi everyone. Smells divine, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there are 3 key components to making this recipe a success. One is the prep that Alicia did at home, which was sauteing the garlic and onion in the olive oil, because that brings the flavor into the oils, so that when we added all the ingredients and then we went to cook it, make sure you put a lid on top of your saucepan. It will keep the flavor in and prevent the beans from drying out. And it's very important to make sure that for those 10 minutes while you're cooking, all of the flavors being soaked into the beans.
Okay, so I don't know if you can see the steam coming off this, but this smells completely amazing. Now you can serve this with a little hot sauce. We have that Trader Joe's hot sauce here that's really just jalapenos and vinegar and a little water and salt. So if you want to add this to it, you can. You can leave it as is. You can, like we said before, you can have it with chicken or with salad, whatever you want to do there. So let's take the taste test.
Yeah, and it is piping hot.
It really is. Oh boy.
Another keeper, straight out of the Live Fit kitchen today.
The cumin is amazing. That's what really makes this recipe, is that cumin. Wow. Thank you so much for sharing this with us. We'll see you again soon.